Speaker, I seek the leave of the House to take, without debate, members' notices of motion number 1 in the name of Joe Goodhue right through to number 64 in the name of Melissa Lee. I do this, Mr Speaker, because there's lots of congratulations in there to Commonwealth Games medals winners from a lot of local members, and it would be very nice if the House agreed to that without any debate.
Leave is sought for that course of action to be followed. Is there any objection? There is objection. There is objection. There is objection. Would some honourable member care to move the House take note of miscellaneous business?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Annette.
Mr Speaker, I so move. As New Zealanders, Mr Speaker, we like to think that our country is the best place in the world to bring up children. We call New Zealand God's own. We say things like the future of New Zealand is with our children. Our children are our greatest assets. Every child deserves a decent standard of living. Every child should have the ability to reach their full potential. We value our children and children matter. How many times, Mr Speaker, have we heard those words spoken in this House? I believe that all those statements are true, and I doubt if there's any member in the House that does not believe they are true. But are they true for every child in this country? That is the question that we should be asking ourselves in this House. But today we heard the compassionate and soft face of the National Party. We heard Judith Collins in answering a question around child poverty, making it very clear the National Party has no interest in what happens to children in this country. She has no interest in working across this House in line with what the Every Child Counts organisation have asked for us to work together for the good of children. They made that request in all sincerity to this House. Who do they represent, Mr Speaker? They represent the major organisations in New Zealand who look after and care for children and families, from Barnardo's in Plunkett to kindergartens to iwi organisations, whānau organisations and so on. They are a major organisation and they have pleaded with this House for us to form a cross-party group to work in the benefit of children. Now that was asked by them. In good faith I took their request to the Prime Minister of this country 1 year ago. He turned it down, and I have the letter here and I will table it later. He turned it down and said he's not interested. He was not interested, and I have waited 1 year to see what this government would do in terms of children in this country. Would they put children first? Would they become a major focus of their expenditure and their policy development? Have we heard about children? As the Child Poverty Action Group have said, they have become invisible in New Zealand, invisible to this government. They will tell you they have done so much for children. They have had an advertising campaign to stop parents shaking a baby. They have done so much for children, they find it hard to write it on a postage stamp. Well, the truth is, in New Zealand, we are not doing well for our children. We're not doing as well as comparable countries. We sit at the bottom third of the OECD rankings in terms of most child indicators, and many of our children in this country are left behind. Their early life experiences are harmful and ongoing, and for many Maori and Pacifica children, they have poorer life chances than other children of the same age. Now, contrary to Mrs Collins' statements in this House, we did make some progress on child poverty in this country. We made it with positive actions like Working for Families, where we took 132,000 families out of poverty in this country. We brought in affordable primary health care to reduce the cost of going to the doctor. We restored income-related rents and 20 hours free early childhood education, and we reduced unemployment to 22,000 on the unemployment benefit compared to the 65,000 we've got now and growing. But I have to say, Mr Speaker, that is not enough. And as far as we're concerned, there is unfinished business when it comes to child poverty in this country. And what we're asking is, will the government do something about it? They've had 2 years to address child poverty. We heard today that they're not even going to make a commitment to reducing child poverty in this country. And I need to tell those members opposite who sit on the front bench and make out that they care for children that child poverty in this country is growing yet again. The numbers are going up right now, and they will not they will continue to increase as long as the policies that party are following. I recently read Plunkett's annual report, and they said you need to invest in the first 3 years of life. We are committed to doing that, Mr Speaker, not the sham we've had from this National Party.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.